So it's a windy day, first day of April, April Fool's Day, of all things. And my birthday month, April 14th, is my birthday. So today I am getting in my car in the Challenger, and I am going down to Gastonia to see Spinning Gold with my friend Scott Henderson, my childhood friend, childhood KISS friend. And this is the closest that this movie's playing to me. So I'm having to drive an hour away to go see it. So I'm going to take you guys along for a little bit of the trip. And then afterwards, me and Scott are going to give our thoughts and our review on the movie. So head along with us. So we have made it to the theater, and of course they're playing previews in the background behind us. I got my friend Scott here, childhood friend Scott, fellow KISS fan Scott, and fellow musician and previous bandmate. And we're going to be watching this movie. We're kind of excited and curious to see exactly what it's going to be about. We had a nice drive down here. It's a beautiful day outside. We're going to go find us some food afterwards, but we are going to, right after this, we're going to walk right outside to the car, and we're going to give a review about what we think. I think KISS, and Gene and Paul especially, are heavily, from my preconceptions, from what I've seen in the previews, that KISS is, Gene and Paul are real heavily in the movie. Donna Summer's real heavily in the movie.
Beth will be the premiere song because it's a hit.
Yeah, Parliament was, and I think Village People is in it some, but I've heard not a whole lot. So I don't expect this to be just a video about KISS. I know KISS is like part of the fabric that's woven to the story, but I'm just real curious to see this story about Neil Bogart, because he was a interesting individual, and he did everything for KISS. You know, even I don't know if they're going to talk about it or show it, I'm pretty sure, but borrowing from the mob and getting messed up with that. So it'd be interesting to see, because I don't know the full story of Casablanca Records. I don't know the full story of all of that. So it's going to be real cool to watch and then to talk about afterwards. So we're going to sit, we're going to watch this movie, we're going to eat our popcorn, and then we're going to be coming back for a review.
Did you know there's actually only one groove on a record? It's true. Yeah, it looks like all these individual circles, but no, it's just one. One single line. 1,500 feet of it, to be exact. A third of a line, carving its way round and round in circles until it finally just ends. To make a record.
Us. We're their managers, Joyce, you and me. Neil, I'm begging you, please don't gamble on this.
Should park closer. And sometimes they hear it even when they don't know it.
Hey, Mr. Aerosmith, what kind of rock and roll pussy are you? You so sick. You drive us wild, it's right.
I need more time.
You lost us an Aerosmith tour.
Tour's already lost, Gene. Aerosmith doesn't want you anywhere near them, all right? No headliner does. Your show scares the hell out of everyone.
So you want us to scale everything down, cut the pie,
No.
the lights?
No. Now, if you're gonna be a headliner, we're gonna need to make everything all that much bigger, all right? That means more explosions and so much louder. I have this guy, all right? He's got these risers that no shit, will lift you out over the audience.
Fire and some forklifts are going to be what finally breaks us through.
No, it is gonna be the music, and it was always gonna be the music, but we might just make enough noise to get enough people to actually listen to it, to pay attention.
Why'd you sign us? Our demo was good. Not great, even I can admit that. You had to know how hard this is gonna be. Why take the risk?
Because your real name is Heimwitz, and you moved here from Israel when you were 8 years old, speaking nothing but Yiddish. Because Paul's real name is Stanley Eisen. Because two kids from Queens had dreams about being the next gods of rock.
And little Neil Bogatz from the Brooklyn Projects thinks he can make everybody's dreams come true. If he's just given a little more time.
You know, your demo really was that great, Gene. Yeah, raw and honest rock and roll. Well, even without all the costumes. But I tell you what your real brilliance is, and I don't even think you know this, is that you write every single one of your songs with the same 4 goddamn chords. That means that any 14-year-old kid can go out there and buy a guitar, and within 20 minutes, they can be you. That matters, Gene. That is who you are. Now, why did you sign with me, huh? Brand new label with you as our only act. You had to know you were taking as much of a risk as we were.
Because you never should have gotten out of the Brooklyn Projects. And yet here you are.
Here we are.
2 imposters.
Only if we're wrong. Empty? Those are empty?
Yeah, it might just make you look as big as you sound.
You know, now you're beginning to sound just like him.
Bill, is he serious?
Guys, give us 5. It's a bullshit trick,
Bill,
okay? It's a mirage. And it sure as hell isn't rock and roll. And I wish any of that mattered right now, but it just doesn't. Nobody's buying our records. No one's coming to see us play. And if an empty speaker cabinet tricks people into thinking that we sound better because we sound louder, if this is what it finally takes so that everybody else feels the way we do, what I think is, we do what we have to survive.
It's just another part of the show, like the costumes, the makeup.
No. It's not. It's a lie. about the music. We've never lied about the music.
Hey, why don't you sing that song? The one that you said you liked it? You said you liked it, right? Sing it for him.
He thinks he's got our next single. Beth, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now. Me and the boys are playing, and we just can't find the sound. Just a few more hours, and I'll be right home to you. I think I hear them calling. Oh, Beth, what can I do? Beth, what can I do?
What's the matter? It's not the radio hit you were hoping for?
Huh?
I will drop you right off on that fucking street corner in Queens.
You can't. We're all you got.
The song is not supposed to be Beth, okay? Peter wrote it for his wife. He'll change it back.
We'll change it, Neil.
No.
Beth just has a better, I don't know, it's just got a better ring to it. Don't you think?
Okay. I think I finally got the lights the way you want them. What'd I miss?
You know, you guys are just a couple of fucking children playing dress up.
Oh, where you going? Come on.
He bet everything on you.
No. He bet everything on him. We just happen to be the cards he was dealt. On tour and in the studio.
Let's seriously talk about releasing Beth.
No,
okay?
no. We're not releasing that shit. No.
Crosses over into mainstream
Not
radio.
who we are. Nobody knows who you are, which is why you're not making any fucking money. Isn't that your job, huh? To get them to know, and yours, or is that not the kind of pillow talk you two like to talk? What? I'm just saying what everyone's fucking thinking, man.
Let him say it.
It's just the truth. You're our manager, and you're fucking the president of our record company.
You're right, that is the truth. Which you didn't seem to mind when you asked me to give him your demo. You didn't mind either, Bill, when you begged me to convince Neil to sign us, even though Warner Brothers begged him not to. But when you asked me to get us on tour, Paul, and keep us on tour, you were all just fine, asking me to roll over on my pillow and talk to the president of your record company then. Yes, I am your manager. And you know just how lucky you are that I am. Because if I wasn't, you'd still be trying to figure out how to wear your mom's makeup, because I taught you how to do that too. Who I love is my business. Your business is to make the damn music. That's your job. Start doing
No,
it.
it doesn't matter how we got here. This is real. This is happening right fucking now. Tell him, Bill.
You really want us to be the hottest band in the world? You better start paying us like we already are.
There he is. There he is, folks. Heimwitz, the demon of rock and roll. Oh, you want some real money, Gene? You want some real money? Well, then you go out there and you write us a fucking song that will actually make us some.
No. No. You don't make it about that. Not this time.
Bill,
I'm sorry. We are renegotiating right now, or we're leaving.
Bill.
Okay. How much?
$1 million an album. And another $1 million in tour support.
You want $2 million an album for a band that can't sell a fucking single.
I want $2 million an album for Kiss.
Okay, fucking fine. Deal. We finished? It's just business.
It's nothing personal.
Of course it is, and you fucking know it.
It's okay. If we cannot sell enough Kiss records on our own, then folks, we are gonna need an army.
It's merchandise now.
It's a movement, Nance.
I love Kiss, but how the fuck are we gonna get people to buy shit about the album and we can't even get them to buy the fucking album?
Because Kiss has always been about the experience, Buck, and that is where we have failed.
If you're not in the Kiss Army, whoa, then you are not in the Kiss Army. You don't get the limited edition posters, the signed t-shirts, the comic books.
Oh, we have comic books now?
Yes! Created specifically for the Kiss Army, and the only way to get into the Kiss Army
Is to buy their albums.
Thank you. Now, we have one very important.
Live album of greatest hits from a band who doesn't even have one? That's a new Neil, even for us.
Hey, they've always had hits. We just failed to record them in the way they needed to be heard. By recording Kiss live, we finally captured the experience of Kiss live. Which is what we've really been chasing from the very beginning. Turned out, we've been right about them too. We sold over 9 million records. Every bet we'd made, we were right about all of them. We just needed enough time for all of you to catch up with us. I finally even let Kiss release Beth on the Destroyer album. It would hurt every single time I heard it, but it was a smash we'd been chasing since it all began.
Now this is a love story.
You're the best fake boyfriend I ever had.
Just a few more hours, and I'll be right home to you. I think I hear them calling. Oh, Beth, what can I do? Beth, what can I do? Beth, I know you're lonely, and I hope you'll be alright.
We just got out of Spinning Gold, the movie. So, what'd you think about it?
It's pretty good. They stuck to the story plot pretty good. They flip-flopped a lot though.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like historically accurate.
Right.
Not soundtrack wise.
Right. Yeah, without giving away, I don't want to do spoilers. I am going to show videos, some of the scenes that Kiss was in.
You rebel.
Kiss, this was about a 2.5 hour movie, and I'd say if you compiled all the screen time that Kiss was on the screen, are actually the people who were Kiss, or they were talking about Kiss or whatever. And like I said, this may have some spoilers, so if you've not seen the movie yet, or if you don't mind being spoiled, we're not going to go into detail, but I am going to talk about some things, and we're going to have some tracks or some clips that I'm going to show in the video. But Kiss was probably on 10 minutes max, right? Wouldn't you say?
Well, they were on throughout the whole film.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They were on throughout it. Because the movie, if you don't know what Spinning Gold's about, it's about Neil Bogart. It's about Neil Bogart, and not just Casablanca. They go all the way back to when he was a kid at some point in time. And it's about Neil Bogart and his career.
It's about his journey.
It's about his journey. It's everybody else is just pieces in it.
Pieces of part of the story.
You know, they focus on Donna Summer a lot. They focus on Kiss a lot. They focus on Parliament. They focus on. They touch on the Village People very briefly at the very end of it.
It's not even 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, and he goes on to talk about that nobody that they created the Village People, and nobody in the Village People ever sang on the album or on stage except for the policeman.
Yeah, the cop. Yeah.
The cop. Everybody else, he says, if you don't believe me, look it up. Like I said, I don't know how historically accurate the whole movie was. I do know there was some consistency things, like the very first time they show when Kiss is performing in LA, and it's that very big first showcase that Kiss does that sets off the fire extinguishers and the sprinkler systems and stuff like that, and people just don't get it, and it begins the departure with Warner Brothers. They're playing, what were they playing? They were playing Shout It Out Loud.
Yeah.
They were playing Shout It Out Loud.
In 1974.
Yeah, this would have been, whenever they had albums like coming off of the first songs coming off the first album. They didn't touch on any Kiss history. Like I said, this wasn't a movie about Kiss. Kiss was just a part in it. But I want to talk about something, and they're going to see it in some of these clips that I'm going to show, and I may pop them in here and there, or I may pop it in. I don't know how I'm going to edit all this together. But they painted Gene and Paul, especially. Gene and Paul was the two people they focused on, the people that played Gene and Paul. They painted them in not so very good light.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you think?
Oh yeah.
I mean, they painted them in. In the very beginning, like I'm going to show the scene when Gene and Neil are talking on the bus.
On the bus, yeah.
Now that's a cool conversation. That's really cool there. But after that, it's just like Kiss is just.
They're in a battle with him.
Yeah, they're battling with him, and what I got out of this, what I got out of the movie, and I want to see if you agree with me. One, I was very entertained. I loved the movie. It was over 2 hours long. It felt long, but not over 2 hours long. It did jump around a little bit. What's funny is they started kind of with Neil kicking off with Kiss, with the showcase for Kiss, and then that was such a failure that it brought into question whether Casablanca was going to stay afloat, because everybody knows, or you may not know, that Kiss was Casablanca's first artist, and he had a lot riding on him. And then from there, it kind of stopped and went back to where he was a kid, and then worked his way back up through that. So him meeting his wife, him being a dancer, they touch on him being a soft porn star, changing his name several times, which I didn't know. I didn't know that Neil Bogart wasn't his real name. That he changed his name several times. Mm-hmm. And he got his last name Bogart from Humphrey Bogart. So, I did learn stuff. How factually accurate all of it was, I don't know. But then they go back and they start moving forward. And I knew Kiss was. I knew that the record company was getting ready to make its big break, because I knew that Donna Summer was the first artist that really broke big for them. After they'd initially put some time into her. And then I knew that right about the time that they were going to put out Kiss Alive, the first Kiss Alive album, that was kind of their Hail Mary for Kiss, because they'd put out the first 3 albums. Kiss did well on tour, but they weren't selling any albums. And I know that Kiss Alive almost didn't happen because Neil Bogart basically almost bankrupted the company and was borrowing money from the Italian mafia and got beat up, and they actually show that scene. But he had pressed 1 million copies of Johnny Carson's album, and I had read this in trivia and actually talked about it in one of my videos, that that the Carson album fiasco almost bankrupted them, and had Neil not dug extra deep and got more money to get Kiss, to get them to record Alive, to get that Alive experience. If Donna Summer hadn't took off, he wouldn't have been able to do what he did for Kiss. And because when Donna Summer took off, they went from being, what was it, at one point in time they were like 8 million in the hole.
Oh yeah, they were $8 million in the hole.
They took off they went from being 8 million in the hole in the movie at least to being to the positive.
Donna Summer got them out of the hole.
Donna Summer got them out of the hole. And then that was when they were like, okay, well let's make a double album for Kiss, and let's take all their songs and, you know, basically take their live experience. They touched on Beth and that whole thing with it. And I don't know if it was, I knew that, you know, you always hear the Kiss in the Kiss community where they say that the song was originally called Beck.
Yeah, for Becky.
Yeah, for Becky. And Gene has always said, I told him, people are going to think you're singing about Jeff Beck. You know, you need to change it to Beth. In the movie, they actually changed, now I don't know if this is factual, but in this movie, they changed the song from Beck to Beth, because Beth was the name of Neil Bogart's wife.
Yep.
That had left him because he had started sleeping with the female manager of Kiss.
So,
Joyce
yeah.
Beowitz, I think is the name. That managed Kiss with Bill Aucoin. And so Sean Delaney wasn't in it at all. It was basically just Bill Aucoin and Beth. And we all know that Sean Delaney was the fifth member of Kiss. He was very integral in their stuff and everything. But they kind of made it almost kind of like, at one point in time, Joyce was talking about, in an argument they were having, Joyce was like, I'm the one who helped you learn how to put on your mom's makeup and stuff like that. And I know a lot of that stuff was also Sean. So like I said, I don't know if that was, how much factual is to that, or how much is it just for making for a good movie, a good confrontational point. But then they do touch on that, you know, Kiss broke and became big. And they got to the point where they talked about how he sold it out in 80. He sold out 49% to Polygram. And then
which became Mercury.
Then he talked about he got cancer 2 years later and died. And he said, you know, I just wish I would have had more time, because that's what he kept saying through the whole thing. It wasn't that he had more money. He's like, I can get money. It's like I need more time. He always wanted more time. And at the end, it was kind of like this whole sequence where he's like going to heaven. I think it was a very good movie. Would I watch it again? Most definitely. I would watch it again.
It's a good storyline.
It's a good storyline. It is not a Kiss movie. It is a Neil Bogart movie. It is a movie about Neil Bogart and his passion for and his drive for making a good record company.
There's just enough Kiss to keep the Kiss fan involved.
Exactly.
Through the whole movie.
Exactly. Me and him were talking right after the movie. Like I said, it was 2 hours long. Right after the movie, we both raced to the bathroom. Because the Kiss scenes were so speckled and in different places and times. You never knew when one was going to come. And I didn't want to go to the bathroom because I knew I was going to go to the bathroom and come back and be like, hey, what'd I miss? Oh man, you just missed the Kiss scene. And I'd been like, dang it. So neither one of us wanted to get up and use the bathroom. But, you know, and how much truth about the storyline with Kiss, how much it really is truth and not truth, who knows?
Spinning gold, spinning tails.
Spinning gold, spinning tails, yeah. But Kiss had a big part in it. I honestly felt like, I don't know, out of all the people, who do you felt like, it almost was like Donna Summer had the biggest part in it?
I would say so.
Because they kind of, once he discovered Donna Summer, they kind of really focused on her.
They were relentless on pushing her, yeah.
And I think it was because Donna Summer was going to be what was going to break them.
Yes, she was the savior of the company.
She was the savior, right? She was the one that took them from the red to the black. And
baby making music went crazy.
Yeah, yeah. That was the whole scene. The whole scene about how, I don't know how much truth there was to that, but the whole scene about how Donna Summer's song needed to be redone, and then they made it a longer song. It was almost 17 minutes long. Yeah. It had the scene where he glued it to the turntable and played it for
12 hours.
12 hours straight. because they locked the DJ in the bathroom with a with a couple hookers and a set of handcuffs.
So he's like, "You guys owe me one." He's like, "It looks like we gave you two."
We gave you two. It was very entertaining. It was very entertaining. But if you are a Kiss fan and you are a fan of Neil Bogart and fan of the Casablanca label,
yeah, the Kisstory, so to speak.
There's a Kisstory in it. But I can tell you this: Kiss has a lot. They have a lot of people to thank for their success. I'm not saying that they didn't work for it themselves, but everybody always gives Bill a coin a lot of props. Sean Delaney, I think, don't get as enough props as he should. I recognize his contribution to Kiss. There's so many contributions to Kiss that Sean Delaney did. Anything, all the way down to their stage movements that they did. But man, Neil Bogart, he did not give up on him. He did not, even though in the movie they were dicks to him, putting it lightly.
Mm-hmm.
They were flat out dicks to Neil Bogart, at least in this movie. I tell you, if we didn't have Neil Bogart, who would have known that we could have had a band like Kiss around?
Oh, he definitely took chances that nobody else would have taken.
Yeah, because if he would have stayed in the beginning, like Warner, that's something that they talked about too in the beginning, was that Warner Brothers was not going to distribute them. They'd already said they don't like them, they're not going to distribute them. And so that is what made Neil pull away from the Warner Brother distribution and be an independent label and distribute on his own and under their own label. And had he not done that, Kiss might have not even made it past their first album. We would have had Kiss, and we'd been sitting around going, you remember that band that put out that one album in '74 with the clown makeup on their faces and stuff? Man, whatever happened to those guys? You know, I mean, it could very well be that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were not going to get distributed. So if Neil would have just said, well, okay, well, we're not going to get distributed, so we're not going to make any more, we're not going to produce any more albums for you guys because it's over. You know, you're done. We can't sell you to anybody. You're too outrageous, or you're too whatever. I don't know. Kiss had, who knows what would have happened with Gene and Paul, because Gene and Paul are two very driven people. And they did have a driven manager. You know, that's somebody else. Like I said, it's unsung. He wasn't focused on too much. They actually focused a little more on Joyce, because Joyce and Neil actually started hooking up. And there's this whole scene about that too. The Kiss gets real confrontational with them about it. There's this one scene where when they hear Beth being played for the first time, and Peter's actually, the guy that's playing Peter's sitting there without makeup. He's sitting there playing a guitar.
Playing guitar, yeah.
And I don't think Peter plays an instrument other than the drums. I don't think, I've seen Peter with a guitar.
Well, he plays piano, doesn't he?
I don't know. In the movie, in the clip, you know, you've probably seen it by now, probably popped in him by now. Peter's sitting there playing the guitar and he's singing the song, and they're like, yeah, this is the song that they want us to release. And
yeah, they're really breaking his balls.
And when he first hears it, when Bogart first hears it, he hears that it's named Beth, and he gets all pissed off about it and everything. But then they end up putting it out because, you know, and it becomes the hit that comes. They actually have a segment on it that I originally let Kid. He says in a little segue that they do, like a little montage. It's kind of towards the end of the movie, because you can tell when it's getting to the end of the movie and the music changes to kind of a happy, and they're kind of wrapping up all the storylines and stuff. And
the closure of the movie had something to do with every part.
Yeah, they like, this happened for this band and this happened for this band. And he's like, you know, I went on to let them record Beth on, I let them release it on Destroyer. And it turned out to be one of their biggest hits, or their biggest hit. I think it was, to this date, their biggest hit. And so, yeah, I mean, would you like this like when this eventually gets released on streaming or whatever, you gonna sit down and watch it again?
Probably so. I would recommend it.
Yeah,
to watch too. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I'd recommend going to see it if you're the kind of person that you know, you like going to the movies, docudramas and stuff like that, go and see this. It's limited run. I mean, I had to drive an hour down here to Gastonia where Scott lives to see this. It's not playing within an hour of me. I would watch this again. It's a good movie. So if you're, like I said, if you have any interest in Neil Bogart, Casablanca, and you want to kind of get pulled in with the history, a little bit of history, true or not, embellished or factual or whatever or not, then go see it. Spinning Gold, rated R.
Pretty good.
So pretty good. Pretty good.
Nice catchy soundtrack.
Yeah. Good music though. Yeah.
All the way through the movie.
All the way through the movie. I was sitting there, you know, not just about the Kiss music, but I was just sitting there kind of tapping my toes because it's got a lot of funk.
Singing along.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. Yeah, good movie though. So, you got any closing thoughts?
Go check out Creatures of the Night on YouTube.
Yeah. Creatures of my friend
Nevada
Scott.
Rock.
My friend Scott, Nevada Rock. He's in a band.
Just released our first single today.
Creatures of the Night. Let's see if Gene comes after him.
Yeah, let's hope Gene doesn't sue us.
It's not the same Creatures of the Night song.
No,
it's got the title Creatures of the Night. And I'll put a link. They've got a lyric video. I'll put a link to that lyric video down in the description so you can check it out if you want to. I'll do that for you, man.
Thank you, man.
I'll do that for you.
You can be my Bogart.
I'll be your Bogart. I don't know if I'd give you $2 million, but I'd be your Bogart.
I need 5.
Spinning Gold isn't about the band that you see behind me. It's not really about any of the bands that was on the Casablanca label. Truth be told, it's not even really about the Casablanca label. It's about Neil Bogart. It's about a man and his dreams, his determination, and his desire to leave where he was and become greater and try to be as great as he can be. And he impacted a lot of lives. The lives that Neil Bogart impacted is countless. Not only did he impact the lives of the people that are featured in this movie, like Donna Summer, Kiss, P-Funk, Gladys Knight. Not only did he impact those people and help those people have the careers or continue careers that they had, but he impacted millions, countless millions of fans of these bands, myself included. And I never really realized, and like I said, I know a lot of this could be fictitious. It could be for the sake of a good movie. I don't know all the facts about Neil Bogart or Casablanca or even Kiss's relationship with Neil Bogart. I don't claim to. But what this movie did make me do is have a newfound respect for Neil Bogart that I never really thought of. I never really thought of, had it not been for men like Neil Bogart and for people like Bill Aucoin, that we wouldn't have the band that we love and that has impacted every one of our lives, that is a Kiss fan or any fan of anybody that was on the Casablanca label. And even Neil's previous, Buddha Records, his previous things that he was involved in. So this is a good movie. It's a great movie. I enjoyed it. I will watch it again when it comes out. If the DVD has some really cool, or the Blu-ray DVD, look at me dating myself, it might as well be a VHS. If the Blu-ray has some really cool features, some really cool added additional features, I may purchase it. I don't usually purchase Blu-rays unless they usually have something that you can't get from streaming. So Spinning Gold, to me, is gold. I haven't really heard anybody else's reviews, but regardless of what their reviews are, I think it's a great movie. And I've tried to show in some of the clips, and with me and Scott talking, like I said, I'm prefaced up front there was going to be spoilers. So, but even with the spoilers, this is still a really good movie to watch. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're new here, subscribe. I got a lot of KISS content, and if you're a viewer that's been with me, thank you, and give me a thumbs up. I'll see you guys in the next one.